Hey, welcome back to Crimes and Closets. This is Beth in my closet in North Carolina.
And this is Christy in my closet in St. Louis.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes. So nice to see your face.
I know.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we're not recording as often.
No. It's been nice. I mean, it was super busy with Thanksgiving and Christmas. Christmas, my gosh, Thanksgiving was a week later than it normally is.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having 4 weeks until Christmas, we only had 3. And man, it matters.
Well, yes. I was going to say, when you said that, I had that revelation too, when I was looking at the calendar, I'm like, freaking Thanksgiving is so late.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what I did, not realizing. I had signed up for a volunteer opportunity at my kid's school, and I completely missed it, which is not like me. Like, I spaced on it. I didn't even think about it and didn't go. Didn't call, just didn't show up. And I looked and I was like, that's because I was like, oh, it's the 28th or whatever that I don't remember what day it was. But anyways, it was late in the month, and I was like, oh, that's the week after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so then I was like, oh no, it was the 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I was supposed to volunteer.
Right.
I was like, oops.
So we have this Christmas parade that we go to every year. And my friend, it's like our tradition, we take the kids, we get hot chocolate. It's like a whole thing. And this year, the Christmas parade was the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had all these Thanksgiving, me and my friend had all this Thanksgiving plans for the Thanksgiving weekend. Like we went to this festival and all this stuff. And then I was like, oh, and Sunday's the parade. And she was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to see you like 3 times this weekend. It's too much. It's like so jam-packed friend time. No, it was fine. It was really fun. But yeah, everything is just happening at rapid pace. I'm done shopping though. Are you?
I'm fairly certain, we haven't pulled everything out. Like, we usually pull it all out, and then that's when we realize, ooh, we need one more thing for this person, which, always is easy to get. But, I'm pretty sure I bought one last thing this morning online, and something is being delivered right now.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I see the UPS truck outside. And I was just thinking, or I thought the other day, I never put out my snacks and drinks for the drivers.
Oh, you didn't? I did.
No, I totally spaced. And then I thought about it the other day, and I was like, well, there's 3 days left. Not really, but we head out of town and
right.
all the things. And I'm just like, well, I guess I'm not doing it this year. Maybe I'll do it after and be like, surprise.
Yeah. Thanks for all your hard work. Oh, hello, UPS man. Yeah. So Christy's coming to North Carolina.
Yes.
Over Christmas break. So we're going to see each other, which will be fun. I want to play pickleball.
I know. You texted me that because when we were planning which day, one of the days was like weekday, and we were like, oh, our husband's going to be working. And you're like, that's okay. We'll just come anyway, and we'll do stuff with the kids and do a pickleball tournament. And I was like, oh, okay. Just plan the day.
I totally want to play pickleball. I like it. I like to play pickleball with the kids.
Do you play often? I'm unaware of the fact
often.
that you play that much since
so the house in Maryland that we go to, there's a pickleball court. You can walk to it in the town. And so we played pickleball all summer with the kids, our friends that are there. It was like, do you guys want to go to the park and play pickleball? Quite often, actually. Mm-hmm. And so yes, we do. And we have played a few, when they came here, we played for Thanksgiving, we played pickleball one morning. It's fun. It's just a fun thing to do with the kids because it's easy. Mm-hmm. It's that perfect happy medium between being fun enough, it's challenging, but it's super simple for all ages to do. Right. So our little guy can play and our adults can play each other, and it's just fun.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't realize that you were so into it. I was like, okay.
I love a pickleball game. We don't have to do that. I don't care what we do. We can go back to our arcade.
Oh, yeah.
It was super fun.
Yeah. Emery and I were talking. We went on a walk the other day. We were talking, and I was saying how you guys were coming and that you wanted to play pickleball. And he's like, oh, yeah, that would be fun if it's a nice day for sure, blah, blah, blah. And going maybe somewhere to eat and whatever.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
So it should be fun.
I know. I'm excited. Okay. We're getting long, but we haven't been with you in a couple weeks, and I have a kid story. So we'll just take a long intro. If you don't like to hear us, then why are you here? Anyway. Love you, Mina.
That's where we're
at. Yeah. Please don't comment that this is a long intro. Just fast forward.
Just skip it.
Yes. So my kid, my little guy, has his own like miniature side-by-side, right? Mm-hmm. Got it last year for Christmas. Super fun. I mean, it's little. I can fit in it, but like barely. Like it's for small people. So we had it out. We were doing stuff in the garage, and we pulled it out, and it was in the driveway. And he was like, "Can I ride it around the neighborhood or whatever?" And we're like, "Yes, you can go around." We have like a circle. Our street and the street behind us, it's like a big circle. And we were like, yes, you can ride it around the loop and then bring it right back. And we're going to put it back in the garage. Okay. So he takes off, he goes, he's riding around, and we're like doing other stuff in the garage. And I think probably more time went by than should have. And we're like, where is he? And we didn't hear it coming, because it's kind of loud. It's like a 4-wheeler, like noise wise. And then this car pulls up. And he gets out of it. What? And this woman is like, "Is this your son?" And I'm like, "Yep." And she's like, "Okay, I just gave him a ride home because his machine broke down back there. And so I just gave him a ride home." We're like, "Okay, thank you. That's so nice of you. We really appreciate it." Whatever. She's like, "No problem. Merry Christmas," whatever. So he comes walking up, and I'm like, "Dude, strangers." Like, how many conversations have I had with you that you don't get in the car with a stranger? What the hell? Whoa. And he's like, "Well, she said she lived in our neighborhood." I'm like, no. You cannot get in this is an example of kidnapping and trafficking happening in real, like, thank goodness she was a nice person and did live. I didn't know this woman. She didn't know me. He had to tell her where he lived.
Wow.
Like, my buddy, I do true crime. You cannot behave this way.
And how far was he?
Well, he was just at the road. Like, he was essentially behind our house. Like, okay. Right? That road that's like behind our house. And so it's just a loop, but it broke down. Yeah. So then we had to drive and get it. He was out of gas. That's what happened. But he's like, she just pulled up and she's like, "Do you need any help, buddy?" And he's like, "Yeah, my side-by-side broke down." And she's like, "Okay, get in. I'll take you home." And he's like, "Okay." Dude,
just walk home, Miles. Come on.
Exactly. Like, it's right here. He could have walked where it was. He could have just walked through someone's yard and into our backyard.
Yeah.
Like, no. Instead, he's my one. He's the group one that gives me the gray hair.
That's what I say about my Langdon. He's just like, I'm like, "Would you get in the car with somebody if they offered you a cookie?" Yeah. Awesome. Cool. See you later, dude.
It's ridiculous. It was
definitely if they ask him to find their puppy, 100% he's
yeah. Well, apparently, it's I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do with them. Yeah. We're doing great.
Surviving over here.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God she wrote. But yeah, I definitely I'm like, she could have taken you to her house and killed you. Or she could have taken you to her house and put you in her basement and held you hostage. And all we would know is that there's your side-by-side out of gas. We would have no clue where to even look for you. Like, that is scary. Don't do stupid things. Like getting cars with strangers.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
It's an Uber. That always cracks me up. We tell our kids not to get in the car with a stranger, and yet we all do it.
Yeah. Every day. Not every day, but.
Okay. So there's that very long intro. If you don't have anything, I have a case.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh, that's right. The next one won't be till after Christmas.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Okay. This case was suggested by our listener, Karen G.
Okay.
So Karen, she's a regular listener, and she suggested Helen Clevenger. Do you remember that case?
Yes.
A really old case.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a hotel. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to North Carolina for today's case. Welcome in.
Okay.
We're actually going to be close to where we were last week. Or not last week, but last episode. Dr. Scher lived in Lincolnton. We're going to be in a town called Newton.
Okay.
Which is over that way. It's a suburb of Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger city. It's actually the second biggest city in that county, of 13,000 people. And it is known for its cultural diversity, which I thought was very interesting. So it apparently has a very good mix of people.
Well, good.
Sounds like a good place to live.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's outside of Charlotte, which Charlotte's just super duper fun.
Right.
So this is the case of Maggie Daniels.
Okie dokie.
I had not heard of this. So Margaret Elizabeth Daniels, or Maggie, as she was called, was born on September 3rd of 1982 in Ohio. Her parents were Michael and Kathy, and she had 4 siblings, Sarah, Chris, Colleen, and Danny. I'm not sure where she fell in the order of the siblings.
Mm-hmm.
There really isn't a whole lot of information out on this case.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to really comb through local newspaper articles and stuff like that to find this. So bear with me. At some point during her life, her biological father, Michael, passed away. And her mother, Kathy, remarried a man named Robert Green.
Okay.
Who was apparently very beloved by the family, is beloved. So Maggie ended up coming to North Carolina to go to school, and she went to Appalachian State University, which is in Boone, North Carolina, which I love. App State, by the way. I want one of my kids to go there, actually. This is about an hour from where Maggie ended up getting a job and settling down in Newton.
Okay.
So she went to college in North Carolina and stayed in the area-ish. Maggie became a teacher, and she was beloved by her students and colleagues, and she actually won Teacher of the Year in 2011.
Oh, good for her.
She then went on to get her master's degree, and she became a school counselor at Discovery High School in Newton, where she also proudly coached the basketball team. So she is described as being the type of safe adult that kept her door unlocked in case her students need to stop by at any time for any reason. At the time of her death in 2014, Maggie was 31 years old. She was very dedicated to her students, and she had a boyfriend who she was very happy with.
Okay.
I don't know his name.
Oh.
Maggie, I think that he was from the area, but was living outside the area, and so he would come back for weekends.
Okay.
So they were kind of in a long distance type relationship. Maggie invested in her friends and in her community and was an absolute joy of a person. She is one, you know how you have those teachers that it's they were meant to work with kids.
Mm-hmm.
They are all in. I imagine you probably were a teacher like that too, but her life was surrounded, or her everything that she did was for her students and colleagues. And they're the best kind of teachers. They're the ones that make the biggest impact.
So
that's how she was,
for sure.
All right. On Friday, June 27th of 2014, Maggie went shopping with a friend at Walmart. Afterwards, they had some dinner, and then Maggie went home for the evening. As the evening went on, some of Maggie's friends noticed that they were not hearing from her like they normally do. It's Friday night. She's not answering the phone. She's not texting back, whatever. And specifically her boyfriend noticed, she wasn't answering her phone. He probably tried to call her after work, whatever, couldn't get a hold of her. So as the night went on, they all kind of individually started to get worried. Oh, it's weird. We haven't heard from Maggie. But they weren't nobody knew that nobody had heard from her. Does that make sense? Okay. So the boyfriend is super worried. Friends are worried. Parents are worried. But then they're also thinking well, maybe Maggie just fell asleep early. She's not answering her phone because it's in a different room, or she can't hear it, whatever. But by the next morning, still nobody was able to reach her. So her boyfriend at this point, who again, I think lived in the area but wasn't there at the time, I think he sent his mom to Maggie's apartment to check on her. And I think that because it says boyfriend's mom called 911.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I think happened.
Is it interesting to you that his name is not mentioned at all?
I would say yes, except for there were so many things that were not reported on that I had to like infer based on, like, that is an example of like, it doesn't say boyfriend called mom to go check on girlfriend. Mom called 911. It just says a 911 call came in from boyfriend's mom.
Right. And why else would it come in unless she went over there to check on her or something?
Right. Like, and why would she go check if he didn't call her and ask her to check because he wasn't in town? Right. So I had to like, anyway, the whole case was like that. It was very like, just, I had to piece things together. It was like a puzzle.
It's so interesting to me because I really feel like a lot of the time stuff like that happens with like older cases like mine from last 2 weeks ago. Like it was in 76. And so there was just like not a whole lot of background information on stuff. But like, you know, anyways, I felt like stuff that is more recent tends to have a little bit more detail, but this is not that long ago. So.
Yeah, no, it was 10 years ago. Yeah. Okay. So mom goes over to Maggie's apartment and the door is unlocked. And I think it was even like slightly open, like it wasn't shut all the way. And so she just went in and was like, Maggie, are you here? Whatever. So she goes in and she finds Maggie lying on the floor. She calls 911 at 10:30, which is on the 28th of June. So it's the day after everybody had last heard from her. There was no forced entry to the apartment, which, again, didn't really mean a whole lot because it was mentioned that Maggie often kept her door unlocked for people to stop by. But the apartment was in, like, disarray. Like, there had been a struggle. Stuff was knocked over. Stuff was broken. Maggie was found in her bedroom, lying face down on her stomach. She was only wearing a pair of pink running shorts, and they were inside out.
Oh. Okay.
A towel was found between her feet. She had blood pooled around her nose and clear ligature marks around her neck. A full-length mirror near her was broken, and there was also a bottle of scrubbing bubbles with bleach found in the floor of the bedroom. Her bedspread and sheet were balled up and were on the bed. The closet light was on, and there was a cabinet in her bathroom over her toilet that was just open.
Okay.
She did have signs of sexual assault, and her cause of death was determined to be strangulation. Okay. So the medical examiner was able to get a DNA profile from the sexual assault kit. They also found several locks of hair on and around Maggie's body. So police obtained surveillance of Maggie at the Walmart on the afternoon of June 27th. She was there with her friend, and she was seen wearing the same pink shorts that she was found in.
Okay.
But there wasn't anybody following her. She didn't look like, nothing was abnormal about the situation. They did rule that friend out, by the way, because they were seen like parting ways. But because she was wearing the same shorts, they believe that she had been attacked after returning home that day. So they think that whatever happened like shortly after she was last seen at the Walmart. So it's believed that a male came into Maggie's apartment and attacked her, sexually assaulted her, and then strangled her to death. It did appear that they attempted to clean up because of the scrubbing bubbles and the towel that were found, and think that they likely got that from Maggie's bathroom because the cabinet door was open. And then they just left her there, walked out of the apartment. Police questioned Maggie's friends, family, neighbors, co-workers. Nobody heard or saw anything odd, and no one knew of anyone who would want to hurt Maggie. So they had absolutely no leads on who they should be looking at, but they do have a lot of physical evidence. So they do have this DNA and this hair. So they just put it in the system and waited. And I found it interesting because it's like we watch all these shows and all this, and it's like they put it in the system and hit a button, and within 45 seconds they're like beep 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 beep, and that is not how it works.
No, I was like, that's not the case. But I will say this: can I make an observation? You said locks, several locks of hair.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't just mean strands to me. That's like literally like clumps, kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly
a lot
right.
of hair. Okay.
A lot of hair. Yes.
Okay.
So she fought.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Okay, so in the meantime, while they're waiting, a memorial service was held for Maggie in Newton on July 9th. Hundreds of Maggie's colleagues, friends, and students came out to remember her. She was very beloved. I saw like excerpts of this, and it's just, they're all very heartbroken and sad and scared because there's like a killer on the loose that just walked into her apartment and brutally murdered her.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, after a few weeks, the DNA was a match. It matched that of a 34-year-old man named Sharman Odom.
Sharman, like the toilet paper?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, honestly, or not, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. But it's spelled with an S-H. Sharman. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sharman was Maggie's neighbor.
No.
I'm serious. And Maggie had told her boyfriend that there had been a neighbor of hers that had been hitting on her and kept saying that he wanted to get with her, quote, get with her.
Oh, and that makes me want to get with you when you say those words.
Yeah, it's really hot, Sharman. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. She said that he made her uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Like he was not a neighbor that she enjoyed.
And I'm assuming he knew she had a boyfriend.
I don't know.
Okay. I was probably like, I mean, if you would talk to her and stuff like that, I'm assuming she would be like, I have a boyfriend, dude. Like, we're not getting together because I've got a boyfriend.
Yeah. And he probably saw her boyfriend. Yeah. Because they did later find out that he also like stalked her social media too. Like he was always like looking her up on social media and stuff. Like they found like evidence of that. So yes, he knew. Mm-hmm. Okay, so police go to arrest Sharman, who by this time left town. So they had to kind of track him down, and it took a little bit of time. But they did. They
like moved out or just like went out of town?
I think he was just staying somewhere else at this time. So they did find him. I don't know where he was. I think it was just like a couple towns over or whatever. And he was arrested on August 14th. When he was arrested, he had clearly a big chunk of hair missing from his head. Like you can see it in the pictures even.
Wow. She like grabbed him and was like, ooh.
He had very long hair.
Why didn't he take it with him when he was cleaning up?
Well, so this is what I saw in this other news article that they ended up finding some of his locks in his apartment. Oh. So I think he did take some of it. He just didn't get it all.
Okay.
I mean, he obviously did a bad job cleaning up.
Right. I'm just saying, like, that's something that I'd be like, oh, I can't get this stain DNA off the carpet, but I can grab all of this hair.
Right. Yeah. I think he did attempt to, like, take some of it. He just didn't get it all. He also had scratches, like, on his face that were, like, in the process of healing. So they looked to be, like, a few weeks old, whatever, but they were still there. So he was charged with first-degree murder and first-degree sexual assault and first-degree kidnapping. So I think they think that he took her while she was outside of her apartment and forced her into the apartment.
Oh, okay.
Is what they're thinking. Either that or the door was unlocked and he just walked in.
Yeah, but kidnapping seems like a stretch.
It is. I think they were just throwing the book at Sharman.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he denied having anything to do with Maggie's murder, and he pleaded not guilty.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So there is surveillance footage of this guy when he was arrested. I'm going to send it to you, actually, after this is over, because he has this, like, grin on his face that is so disgusting. Like, he is, like, laughing at the fact that he is being arrested for it's really just disgusting. That's like the best word for it. And he is disgusting, actually. So let me tell you about him.
Okay.
In 2010, so 4 years before Maggie's murder, he had been charged with robbery with a dangerous weapon, first-degree rape, assault by strangulation, burglary, and kidnapping. So this is all one incident.
He's charged with it or convicted of it?
Just months later, those charges were dismissed.
I was like, why was he not registered as a sex offender and like all these things? And why was he not in jail if it was only months earlier?
Right. So. Well, it was 4 years earlier.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. In 2012, so 2 years before Maggie's murder, he was charged with robbery, assault by strangulation, and second-degree rape. However, 2 months after that, those charges were also dropped.
Is he intimidating all of these witnesses?
I don't know if it's that they decided to drop the charges and like back away slow, or if there wasn't enough evidence to convict him, so they dropped the charges. It doesn't say why the charges were dropped. It just says they were dismissed. So I don't know.
But my goodness, I mean, that's like a pattern. Like even, okay,
fine. Rape, strangulation.
The first one, fine. Like you didn't have enough evidence, so you dropped it. But the second one, like there would be a report saying that he was charged before. So then maybe you would like dig a little deeper.
Right. I don't know the happenings of it, but it sucks is what it does. So he also, like a couple months before Maggie's murder, was charged with reckless driving to endanger and had to pay a fine. Okay. That's his criminal rap sheet.
Had it been all in that same area? Like he was living in that area?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Definitely North Carolina for sure. Okay. So he clearly likes to rape and strangle women. Allegedly.
Fetish.
So now he's facing the death penalty for murder. In January of 2017, Maggie's family agreed to allow him to take a plea deal. So the death penalty was removed from the table, and Sharman pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maggie's brother, Chris, made this statement at the sentencing hearing. He said, quote, "Although our family will never have peace, we are happy to have some closure and know that justice was served for Maggie. No outcome can bring her back or make right what was stolen from our family. We will hold close the memories that we have and cherish them."
Oh, wow.
Which is very nice.
Yeah.
The family said that they believed the death penalty would be too easy of a sentence for him.
You know, I think that all the time. Like, you know what? No, rot. Rot in a miserable place that you don't want to be in. And
with no freedom.
Yeah. Because you're just like, I feel like you get off easy.
Yeah.
Kind of. When
you have to live with what you've done. Like, I'm hoping it's torturing him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like having to close his eyes every night.
Right. Exactly.
I'm going to tell you, this guy is a piece. He really is.
Well, he should never have been there to be able to kill her to begin with. So I'm half wondering if because the other two, he was charged with strangulation, but they didn't die. So I was like, was this accidental? Like he went too far. Didn't really mean to, but
and that's very possible. But don't strangle people, dude.
Well, yes, but also if it was her neighbor, he also may have been like, well, no, I don't really want her to be able to testify against me or something.
Right.
Like, anyway.
Right. So Sharman also addressed the family at the sentencing hearing, but I don't care what he has to say, and you guys shouldn't either. So goodbye. You are a predator. Okay. This is another little tidbit. So Sharman's mother, her name is Darlene. She got arrested as well because she assaulted a news reporter and a photographer who was trying to interview her during all of this stuff that was going on, his arrest and everything like that. So she ended up having to plead guilty to assault and was given a 30-day sentence and fined.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. And you can find her mugshot too. And she's not grinning.
No.
But, I mean, it is what it is.
Apple didn't fall far from the tree with Sharman. I mean, he was a little bit worse, but she still assaulted someone.
Yeah. And injured them.
Yeah.
They ended up being injured. There was two people. It was a photographer, like a person with a camera, and then a reporter who was trying to get a statement from her. And
tough
she was
cookie to injure two people.
Yeah. She went after him for sure. So Sharman is currently 44 years old and serving his sentence in a Caswell County prison here in North Carolina. Appalachian State University, where Maggie went to school, has a memorial for her in their, on their campus, which is very sweet. And there's that. That's the case of Maggie Daniels. It's short and sweet today.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's just terrible. I mean, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her family. I feel really bad for the kids that missed out on being taught by her.
I know. Oh my gosh, I know. The statement, and she was a high school teacher too. And I just feel like that, I mean, it's important when you teach the little guys, but like you can truly be so impactful in a person's future when you teach them in high school. Well,
and it's interesting because when you first stated that she always kept her door unlocked in case her students needed her or whatever, or did you say students or did you just say people?
I think the article I read said students would stop by.
Okay, because in my head, I was like, oh, her door in her classroom, which I was like, why would she lock it anyway? Or like her office door or whatever. I wasn't realizing that you meant her like actual home, that she was like, yeah, come on.
I assume that's the door they were talking about. Maybe it was her classroom door.
Well, but if she was known to have her door open and that's why there was no like considered forced entry.
Right. Well, the other thing, too, about the no forced entry is they think if he attacked her outside, like he could have got her keys or got her to open the door and then forced her, which is like why the kidnapping charge was there, is because he took her from where she was to a different place against her will.
Possible, too, that he just knocked on the door. And she opened it because she knew who he was. I mean, I know he made her feel uncomfortable, but.
Yeah. Yeah, she did say that, like, she had told her boyfriend, like, this neighbor of mine is, like, super sketchy.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all. He makes me uncomfortable. But, like, of course, never saw this coming.
I'd always pretend not to be home. He came knocking.
That's what I do now.
Well, I was going to say, I do that on a daily basis.
I know and like.
You know what's really funny is, okay, so I was just telling, this is like kind of related when we just talk about, I pretend I'm not home. So we just got a new couch in our living room, and the old couches, we used to have one like against the windows and then one against this wall over here. And I would always, whenever Emery's out of town, I'd sit on the one. I would kind of sit between both of them, but I would always sit on the one against this wall because no matter what, you can't see that I'm sitting in the living room by the front door when you come to the front door. Now, this new sectional we got, anywhere I sit on it, you can see me in the window. And I hate it. I hate it.
Wait, what window? Like the window, your door. Oh,
like it has the two, like the windows along the side of the door.
That's what I was just going to tell you. I have those on the sides of my door, and maybe lived here 6 months and was like, yeah, I'm putting blinds on those, and I did. Well, I put blinds on them.
Literally considering doing that because I hate the fact that you can see me, even though I leave my blinds open the rest of the house.
Yeah,
and there's nothing on the windows behind me, although there's nothing behind us either. I want to put something on those and cover them because I'm like,
because if they're on your front door, maybe you don't have pants on. You don't know. They don't know what you're doing. I'm just saying.
Now I just look at them and like, I'm not home. Leave it.
It's so good. You got to get the blinds. I'm telling you.
I will.
I'll take a picture. We should take a picture and post my blinds.
Please.
My little skinny blinds. They make
because I know that you have coverings. I just couldn't remember what you had, and I'm looking at mine going, I don't know if I can fit something there, but anyways, I'm sure
totally
there's possible.
Can. They're real skinny.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry,
worth
tangent,
every penny,
but relevant. Like, hide from everyone in your closets.
Yes. Nobody's gonna find you there.
Nope. Anyway,
it's very sad case. But anyway, thank you, Karen, for sending in the North Carolina case.
Yep. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks, Beth, for diving so that you could get enough information to produce a case.
Yeah, I know. And I hate that I couldn't find more, but it's still, her story is worth being told, and it's very sad. And
that's exactly when you were like, this is going to be really short. I'm like, you know what? I don't think it matters how long it is. If it's a case worth like telling and like, then let it be what it is. So anyway.
Yeah. And everyone be like Maggie.
Yes. Please. I love the teachers that are like Maggie. They're my favorite.
Yeah. So. Teacher, coach. I have like such a heart right now for coaches because I have a kid who is in sports and they are very impactful people. If they do a good job, if they do it correctly.
Oh, 100%.
Like Maggie did.
Yeah, definitely. It could go the other way. But yes, I enjoy and appreciate a good coach and good teacher. So,
same. Anyways, so thank you for all you coaches and teachers out there.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Anyway, come check us out on social media so you can see pictures of Maggie. I'm sure you've got one, right? Were you able to find one?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I have several.
All right. And let us know what you think. And that's it, I guess. So just always remember, the world is scary. People suck. Hide in your closet.